Hello? Oh wait, let me make sure Hello?
Yo,
How you doing, man?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you crystal clear actually. It sounds much better than I thought.
Sick.
All right, cool. Hang on. Let me just make sure your volume's good and everybody can hear you on the other end. And you know, and then we'll get started. But how are you doing today, man? How was breakfast?
Oh, that was pretty good. I had a sandwich breakfast. Those
Oh,
are my favorite.
there you go, man. I saw that on one of your videos actually. I've been kind of lurking on your YouTube recently because I've been thinking about people I wanted to interview, and you were like one of the first people that came to mind. I was asking people yesterday when I filmed the first episode if like it would be a good idea to try and ask you, and everybody was like, "Yeah, do it." He'd totally say yeah, and I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." And of course, here you are. you
Yeah, I'm
def-
always down.
All right, for sure, man. Thank you so
Like,
much.
I don't want to play the hard to reach or anything like this. It's not like I am.
No,
Like
awesome,
most
dude.
of people, I'm just on my computer watching YouTube videos and I happen to film. Yeah.
No, I feel
But
you, man.
sur yeah.
But no, thank you so
Surprisingly,
much.
I watch more YouTube than than I take time to film minutes at my videos. But
No, but dude, that's what it kind of turns into, though. You know what I mean? When like you're an appreciator of content as well, so that's always good. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
good.
sure. I'm kind of sad. It all how can I say that? It it all migrated to
Uh,
Instagram.
no, yeah, everything like I miss YouTube, man. That was kind of like I remember just being younger and sitting and watching hours of fingerboarding and just understanding like, oh man, I'm so far away from being this good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just being younger, just being able to watch like, well, that's because that was back when
landing
like everybody made videos every day.
landing kickflip list slide and thinking it's the most amazing shit ever.
You're just losing your shit on it,
Yeah.
man. That's exactly, dude. I remember those days, like, cause I'll be honest, we're like very similar age. You kind of started around the same time I did. I remember when that. I brought it up a couple episodes ago, but when the Pat and Mike, I don't know if you know Mike Schneider and Pat McGinn, I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
When they made
sure.
that go on a tour video,
Yeah, this is
yeah,
actually probably in my top three videos ever,
God,
just because of the nostalgia factor about
yes,
it.
exactly.
And it's such a good video. It's about two kids that's just having a blast with fingerboards,
Exactly,
and
man.
yeah,
I remember seeing that. And I just was like, "Oh my god, I have to be able to do all of this stuff." But if you don't mind, though, if you mind, I kind of want to just talk more about you and your personal career. I could go on about
okay,
like old fingerboard stuff, and I'm sure we can do that at the end of the interview, just because
yeah,
we'll
sure.
have some time for that. But can
I
I just
love
get to?
fingerboard.
No,
I love
fingerboard as
fingerboard.
well.
Yeah, fingerboard. I was gonna say I love fingerboard history. Like
Yes.
I want to know what was before Tech Deck.
Y-
And yeah,
y-
actually, I have a little spoiler for you. And this September, Damien from Close Up is gonna come by in Montreal, and I'm gonna have a little interview with him.
Oh,
So we're gonna know what was before Tech Deck,
that's
and I'm pretty
incredible.
stoked about it.
Holy moly!
But yeah,
Hopefully, I can like if you can get that if you can get that, I'll definitely be reposting that because that's some information everybody should be trying to get their hands on because that's crazy, dude. Any information before Tech Deck, that's nuts.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. All right, so real quick,
So yeah,
can
let's talk about my less favorite subject, me.
right? You know, the people must know, man. The people must know. But yeah, we got some people live, and also we have some people live in our chat too. So I'll be like telling you what they're saying to you as we're going as well. But we got people from the Discord pretty much showing you love. We got Jay Boondock and Chrome and stuff in the chat, and they're just saying, you know, showing you love and saying what's up and stuff, and they're loving your edits as you've been putting out. But basically,
Yeah,
basic information. How old are you, man? I know you just celebrated your 22nd birthday with some homies. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I'm 22, born in 96, January 9.
and you live in
Yeah.
Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, actually, I'm not in Montreal. I'm on the North Shore, but like I'm maybe like 20 minutes away from it, and it's super accessible by bus and metro. A subway, you call it a subway.
All right,
Sorry.
man. So he's down to session. He's down if you're out. If you're out that
Yeah,
way.
always.
And how long have you
Like
been
me.
fingerboard? Oh wait. Oh no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say meeting finger border is like my favorite thing ever. Like just meeting new people and like just having an automatic bound just because we practice the same hobby. There's
Yeah.
something paranormal about it.
No, that's awesome, man. Like being able to just talk to you and like being able to get people because you know we have to grow it ourselves. It's not really a hobby that everybody knows about, and not
Yeah.
everybody's super proud that they do it. You know what I mean? You know, so but no, it's awesome being able to immediately just be able to talk about it and like get some good information from people and stuff. So like I was saying, how long have you been fingerboarding, dude?
That's actually a good story. I would say I've been playing with tech decks since I was 8 years old,
Okay.
but um, I would say mainly like practicing fingerboarding and like just starting watching videos and really getting into the community. It was around late 2007, I think. I just
Ah.
yeah, I was like begging my parents to get me a, a wooden fingerboard, and at the time the only choice you had for a complete fingerboard were close-up finger state,
Yep.
which were around $22 US. And I
Yeah.
remember at the time it cost me with shipping a total of $47.
Holy
And yeah,
moly.
like for my parents, it was crazy
Yeah, I was
to
gonna say, how
like
was that
pay.
convincing them? Like, was it an issue convincing them to pay that much money for your fingerboard, your first fingerboard?
Well, I had the luck to have like supporting parents.
Yeah.
Like they were supporting like and me being interested so much into something, but like they weren't supporting when I was fingerboarding around them though.
Yeah, no, that noise,
Because
that
of the
every
noise and
parent,
stuff.
yeah, every parent,
Yeah.
it will probably kill us if we
Weirdly,
said.
over the years, my dad got like immune to it.
No,
So
I
yeah.
was gonna save this question for the end, but your dad is always somebody you see in your edits, and I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you,
it's
has he's always been someone that's been super supportive of you, been like fingerboarding and practicing, and like he's grown immune. You say, like, can you expand on that?
yeah. Well, my dad is like every dad is really into me, and like I have interest, and as a dad, he's interested in what I'm interested to.
Oh, that's good.
So like it's just natural. Like the biggest like to give you an idea, you see that big platform like table thing. It's like a bunch of furniture stacked up together, leveled up with like planks and stuff, and it looks super bad and like messy. But like my dad let me have that 7 foot space just to like invite people and like enjoy like
Oh, that's
life,
really
because
cool.
he really see like my favorite moments is when I have people come by and I just get in my element, film stuff, and
Yeah,
like
dude.
sometimes I don't say anything for like 3 hours and just film people, but like I just love, yeah,
No,
I love,
you're passionate about it. I saw that kind of in your birthday edit that you filmed for so long. And that editing
yeah.
process for that video, how long did it take you to edit that video?
Like let's say I've got pretty good with it, like doing it over and over, and
Mm.
like I've put out so much part. Like
No,
I'd say,
you have a ton of
like
footage.
okay, let's have a little bit about my process of editing. Not too long though, but
Okay.
like I have all my clips. Let's say I have like 100 clips. Like for my birthday party, I remember I had like over 120 clips. So what I do is like. When I record, I always like end up the clip and like I use I know that the trick is gonna be at the end of the clip. So
Yeah.
what I do is I just pre-edit, so I trim all the clips and I don't put the slow mo or anything. I just like have the tricks, and
Okay.
then when everything is pre-edited, I just like
Go
take
in.
one of my song because I make most of my music also.
Oh, awesome.
But yeah, I put the clips over the music, and I really take it like a music video
Okay.
in a way. Like it's the way I edit.
Hmm.
So yeah,
You go
it's
with the flow of the
just
music. That's really good for editing. That's really dope.
yeah, and I also like keep the bangers, and I try to have a flow of like good
Yeah.
tricks, super good tricks, banger,
Yeah, right.
super good tricks, good tricks, good tricks, good tricks, filler, good tricks, super.
You know, yeah, just to
It's
have a good flow of like you don't want it to be too like you want to have like an actual like tangible and digestible flow to your video editing. No, that makes total sense. And
yeah. But to answer the question more clearly, it took me like maybe 3 or 4 hours. It really depends.
okay.
Sometimes I get distract and stuff, but like I would say it's mainly like my parts take me 2 hours of work, and bigger edits and like talking videos take me like up to 5 hours of editing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, depending on what you're trying to get and stuff like that, especially when people ask for those trick request videos. Some people, they're
Yeah,
relentless on you, man. That's kind of rough.
yeah, but at the same time, I guess it's kind of thing I project with my part. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, crazy tricks, crazy tricks. I'm gonna ask him the craziest trick I can think about,
Yeah,
and
like you
he's
can
gonna
do
land
it.
it.
Yeah.
But like, there, I'm trying to have fun at the same time filming those. So like, if I just, and it's not like I'm getting paid or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get any. I get like minimum revenue, like maybe $30 a month,
Yeah.
and I'm super happy to have like some donators, anonymous donators who give some money to me and my PayPal,
Yeah.
little donation because they love my stuff, which give me the idea to maybe start a Patreon or something.
No, that might
But
be a good idea.
yeah,
No, yeah. I
yeah,
had some people in the chat right now saying that we had Chrome talk about the guy who did the nollie off of the cabinet, and then he also commented that, dude, all of your tricks are bangers, and that kind of led me into like my questions I wanted to ask about your fingerboarding career, which is, how did you get to the point where you realize, like, I don't want to just be like a regular fingerboarder, and I don't want to say regular because there's people that do really good clean tricks that are very simple, but like this the style that you produce and the stuff that you create and the footage that you like produce, when I was watching some of your first videos and then now some of your more recent videos, like your In Bloom part and stuff, it's like you've evolved into this
yeah,
you have this methodical way to the way you fingerboard it, and like the way that you like have to, like, you will call a trick and you have to land it, you know what I mean? Like you'll sit there and make it happen. Like what when did you realize like that was the last straw, like I'm gonna, like, I have to do all my tricks like when I say them, like I want to land them? Like when did you become fingered Ben?
that's super. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so I'll go like in a figurative way
Okay.
first, and then I'll explain in details.
Okay, go ahead.
Figurative, I'd say like 99% of fingerboarders, when they fingerboard, they play EA Skate, which everybody probably knows about, that
Yes. Yeah.
video game,
I
which
totally get
is
what you're
all
saying.
about skateboarding.
Hmm.
And I'm more of an old school guy, enjoying the more arcade style
Yeah.
of skateboarding game, which basically I mean I play Tony Hawk Pro Skater when
Yeah,
I
I was gonna say it's
fingerboard,
like
and
a Tony
most
Hawk Pro
and
Skater angle.
yeah, and most people like play EA Skate, but like yeah, more in detail, I would say like at the beginning I was just struggling with finding my style, so I was like, man, I cannot have a neat style that looked good, so I might just as well like focus on the technique. I can compare. I can kind of compare this to music.
Yeah.
Like
Excuse
you
me.
get those people who get super good at guitar. They're like the fastest and the most technical ever,
Yeah.
but they cannot produce a good song with soul in it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're
So
saying.
I guess that's why that's my mindset. But like I think I've tried to perfect it
Yeah.
with adding consistency in it, and like just basically all my tricks are nollie and switch, because I like I said, my goal is like to obtain the biggest score possible at the end of the trick.
Yeah. Right.
So if I start in nollie, I get a one-time plus multiplier, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can keep going if you keep it on the.
Yeah. So that's why I love
That is
triples
funny.
so much, because for me it's like it's like it's almost shivering when I land them. It's such a good feeling.
No. Yeah. I'm like a
But
more
yeah,
recent
I
example of
guess
that.
that
Yeah.
explained pretty much my thought behind tricks.
Hmm.
But yeah, you were talking about the process when filming them.
Yeah.
It's pretty much how you said it. I'm like, oh, is that possible? Oh, I don't think it's. Maybe it's possible. And then I try to troubleshoot like
Yeah. How
and
to do it.
how I can really do it. And surprisingly, sometimes the lamest trick takes the most time. Like
Oh man.
to give you an idea, I just posted an edit this morning,
Yes, the
and
blue.
the
Yeah.
the tr- the, the trick that took the most time is probably the back tail on the white triangle with the black light things. Like it took me maybe 11 minutes to get it good and
Really?
like be able to land it, but like at the end, spoiler alert, before the banger, you got like a nollie inward deal manual, tree flip manual, heel flip out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
No,
I
the
don't
time
know.
comparison for that must
Sometimes
have been a big difference. Yeah.
the more ridiculous, the better. But at the same time, like
Yeah.
I heard people get anxiety from my videos because like they like to chill and fingerboard, then they go to my fingerboard and it's like, oh shit, no, I'm not gonna be able to get that good. But at the same time, yeah, I guess
I mean, I
what
wouldn't
I'm
say like
trying to
it's like
say is
threatening.
basically
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back to where when I was comparing music. I
Yeah.
really try to show off what you can do with the instrument.
Exactly. It's not like a threatening thing. It's more of like this is the way I do it and this is how I see what a big trick is, you know? Like
Yeah,
some people can see like a kickflip, like if you film it really artistically, people can see a kickflip nose grind is like that was beautiful, you know what I mean? Like it's not
yeah.
that you're trying to like come at anyone. It's more of like this is the way I see it pushing fingerboarding and that's how I'm going to do it. So I totally agree with that.
Also, I just think about it. It's I, I I have a pretty how could I say addicted personality.
Yeah, that's correct.
So when I love something, I like do it so much because it like it gives me so much dopamine.
Yeah.
But like I get bored with like the basic stuff because basically you do it so much you want to try something else
Yeah.
because you doesn't have as much dopamine doing the basic stuff as doing the more hard stuff. So yeah, it's chemical.
Yeah, right. It's pushing me. I'm losing my mind. No, but that's a good way to push it though. Like if you have that, I feel like a lot of fingerboarders have that like addictive personality, but not everybody has the progressive addictive personality. Like oh, I want to be better and better.
Yeah.
Some people just don't mind session all day, or as you can say, the chill fingerboarders. Like some people don't mind just
Mhm.
doing nollie heel flips all day, or nollie kick flips, and like it's butter to them. So they're like, oh, I can just do this. But no, I get what you're saying. Like that's what makes you happy, and that's what it's all about. Um,
At the same time,
yeah,
I really respect people who do that. Like I understand people like coming home from school or work and like just want to chill around their desk and just taking their iPhone and putting it somewhere to get an angle and just starting filming tricks instead of like bringing out the camera
yeah.
and being aware of the focus, the ISO, and everything, and
Yeah.
being and really being in a video making mode.
Yeah, edits, the edit
If I could say,
conversation. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna
yeah.
save that for the end because I know me and you kind of have like a similar aspect on how we feel edits and how we feel viewing fingerboarding should be, and how Instagram is kind of shying away from that classical approach. But I wanted to save that for a little bit towards the end, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure, dude.
All right. I want to talk about this because you just recently made a video on it. Your fingerboard shape and
Yeah.
the shape of
Um,
your board. Do you feel that's like a personal to you riding your hand size the way you ride type thing, or do you feel like that's like an optimal way a fingerboard should be created?
that's a good question because I talk about it a lot because every time I meet people, people are just like talking about the shape of my boards. I guess
It was one of the
it's like
first
Mike.
things I noticed, but yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
it's like Mike Schneider. People doesn't care about these videos so much. They just want to know what wheels he's riding.
Exactly.
It's like
It's like the
it's in the
equipment.
same way.
Yeah. Well, some people are
Yeah,
collectors, and it's also just young kids. But keep going.
yeah, but yeah, basically for people who doesn't know already, I ride like 86 to 89 millimeter boards,
Yeah.
and people think it's really short and maybe too short, but I'm gonna explain why I think it's convenient for me.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, as we just talked about, I'm not really a fan of kickflip nose grind, personally.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I think the conventional fingerboard is optimized for the kickflip nose grind.
Right.
What I mean by that is like every time I try the board of someone, I'm amazed about how easy I got kickflip to grinds and tree flip to grinds, regular I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And whenever I try to do my crazier stuff, naughty and stuff, I feel like the kicks get in the way.
Yeah.
So I would say like I shape my boards because they it it easy it ease I found it. It eased the process when doing tricks.
The tricks you're trying to do, right?
So like yeah, which so people are asking like why I get switch heels so much. It's because I'm a hacker and I hack my board. No, what I mean by it, like it's just like the story behind it is kind of like it's kind of a legend almost because I used to ride longer boards like 98 millimeters when I was on Collinswood, and like I started really getting into outdoor edits, so I was doing outdoor a lot. Okay. And one time, Dylan at Collinswood sent me his new template of 96 millimeters, and I wasn't like really into it because I found it so short. But then I got used to 96 and came to prefer it. But like I said, I was really getting into outdoor filming, so I really rode a lot outside with the 96. All this to come to like maybe 4 months after receiving the decks, I was about to retire it and take another board. This time he sent me a 98 millimeters because I was kind of complaining last time that it was too short. Right. But I got used to like the short decks. But when I took the 98 and compare it to the old one, it blew my mind at how much shorter it was. And I measured it and realized with all the chips and all the concrete grinding and stuff, my board was now a 91 millimeters.
So you grinded it down through outdoor wear.
So I basically took the 98 and started sanding it down. It was breaking my heart because I felt like dirty sending the board of someone of an artist because it's like Dylan at this point is not even a deck maker; he's just a pure artist. Yeah. But so I was basically scrapping his heart for performance sake.
I mean, I'm sure he's appreciative that you ride it. Though he probably wouldn't allow many people to do that to his boards, but you are probably someone that he would probably allow that. Yeah, for performance.
All that, like, since it was my first sending, like, I didn't realize what I was doing. And in final, my deck was shortened to 88 millimeters. And I was like, oh shit, 91 to 88. Oh, I guess I just get used to it. And like, same story, like that 88 got to 86. And then like, I started sending my decks 86 to 89. Because so that's the story behind
the deck sanding. Decks. Okay, cool. No, I was just curious because I know you made a video recently on how to do it, but I just wanted to know like what was the first time. I thought you had just gotten like a mold of a really small deck because I know people are making like gag decks nowadays, like the 55 millimeters and stuff like that. But no, that's interesting that you actually grinded it down through wear. That's like that's hilarious. Also, smoking and fingerboarding. I don't want to go too crazy public.
That's a sick topic.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask you, like, I personally do partake in time to time, you know what I mean, when I'm not at school and I'm in a state that allows it. But before fingerboarding, do you usually smoke a little bit, or like what's your process? Is that like a warm up habit for you, or do you keep it separate?
I'd say I just get stoned pretty much all the time when I have free time. So like, it's how can I say, it's the routine.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
Okay. I smoke and then I write, and sometimes like I get crazy ideas, but I won't say it's from smoking that I get all those ideas. More from my excessive side.
All right, well, can I
But
ask you this? Does the smoking, do you feel like it makes it easier to sit there and try tricks longer when you're high?
no,
No.
no.
No?
Yeah, I'd say it's the opposite. Like when you're high, like um, sometimes sometimes it helps, but sometimes it doesn't. Because when you're high, sometimes your reflex are, for me, they're like sometimes they hacked on their home.
Yeah.
Which what I mean by that is like I'll do a tricks and sometimes like unconsciously like I'd catch a trick like super like perfectly, but I'd be like, oh shit, man, I didn't mean to catch it that
Yeah.
perfectly, but then it happens. But what I'm trying to say by that is that when you're, you know, it takes longer to do tricks because, as I said, sometimes the reflexes act on their own. So
Yeah.
you're trying to do a nollie tree flip, but like your fingers like move a certain way, and then like it like that'd be a cool video. But yeah, that like to compare like me sober and me like smoking, like doing the same tricks. But at the same time, I just want to talk about this. I don't think weed and fingerboarding like should be a thing. Like people should, people with a lot of subscribers shouldn't like, um, how can I say, um, worship weed and
Yeah.
show it in their video and show
Yeah.
like, oh, smoking weed is so
Yeah, it's like
fun
a big
and
thing
stuff.
nowadays
I
on
think
Instagram.
it think it's like drinking alcohol. Like it should be like for more mature audience if you're trying to do that. But like, let's be real. People who watch mainly fingerboard videos like 10 to 16 years old,
Yeah, they shouldn't.
and
Yeah.
like yeah, at the same time, I understand with all the pop culture and stuff, smoking weed is kind of considered as an image thing,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Some people could use that for
but
their, No, I get what you're saying.
what I'm, what I'm trying to say is like, in my videos, it's always super subtle.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
it's
exactly.
never like the a focus. Like you'll never see me grind a joint or like uh, make a big mushroom of smoke and ride through it, or like start my edit by rolling a big fat blunt.
Yeah,
It's
no,
no.
yeah, I get you. No, that you're not trying to make it like it's something you do, so you don't want to leave it out of what you do, but like you're not gonna make it like your image because I feel like to be honest, it's kind of cheesy and like I said, like it's not that kid. Even if like kids are on the internet all day, they know what weed is. It's just like this isn't the place for trying to flex how much weed you smoke because we're you know what I
Exactly.
mean? We're fingerboarding. Like have fun. Like don't be
Because
a little.
let's be real, it's a toy.
Yeah.
What is a toy and smoking weed? It's like, imagine if I was like showing my collection of Hot Wheels through like an ounce of weed. Like,
No, but that
uh,
makes so much. That's like the best. Like that's like the best analogy I've ever. I actually might write that down. Like that's like showing your Hot Wheels and then like on an ounce of weed because like what are you doing, man? Like I get like I said earlier to you, like it might be something that you do. So like if it's in the background or like if you're smoking while you're filming or whatever, it might slip in there. But like you shouldn't be like making it like a freaking yo man. They call me Stoner Fingerboards FB. Like follow me and you can get the best weed smoking tricks. I don't know. I just think some of the things that people do for. Oh, can I ask you kind of a goofy question? What do you think about
yeah,
people that wear
sure.
rings when they fingerboard?
What?
What do you think about people that wear rings, like ring wearers, like people that wear jewelry, like the jewelry
Uh,
guys?
like
Yeah,
Cass.fb.
yeah, yeah. No, well, I mean, like, not to call him out
Let's drop
specifically.
some names.
Yeah, right.
No,
No,
just no. I have nothing against it.
no, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if you want to have like your ring on your middle finger and like be in the way when you're writing for style purpose, do it. Like, I have opinions, but like they are my opinions, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, this guy is not cool because he doesn't have the same opinion as me.
Right. No, yeah,
Like
I get
like we
it.
said at the beginning, I'm 22 years old. I'm an adult.
And yeah, and like I said earlier, like any names that we do, because I do want to bring up some other things, like because you do have a very certain take on fingerboarding, and you are from like, I don't like saying the old generation because at the end of the day, we're all like still like the oldest fingerboarders you're gonna find like that weren't like dads before it came out. We all grew up in the same generation, but like what do you like? How do you feel about like the more Instagram angle? And then I also want to say how YouTube has transitioned from like a place for edits to a place for
Mm-hmm.
reviews and product, and like how collecting is more of the thing than actually writing. Because when I started, it was more of like how good you can get once you got past the tech deck. Like you take the red pill and you get into the deep world of fingerboarding. Back when we had the forums and everybody was on YouTube posting their own like sponsor me tapes. Everybody was just like, there weren't that many reviewers. You know what I mean? Like there were people that reviewed boards, but like everybody was like a competitor. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to be in like a writer. Nowadays, I feel like everybody just wants to watch people purchase fingerboards and people get the packages. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people are more excited for the packages than writing the product inside, and I feel like that's like not where we should be heading. But I wanted to hear your opinion on it.
Okay, so that's I'd say like there's multiple points to this question. First one is about the era of Instagram. Um, like to give people context, they need to know what era there were before Instagram. Like first of all, you had pre-tech deck, which we basically have no documentation about it except a video and Bones. No, is it? No, it's oh fuck. No, is it Bones Brigade? I think it's Bones Brigade. You have like okay, let's not get away from
Yeah.
the question. What I mean is like you had the before Tech Deck, you had the start of the forum, and like 2001 2002 you had like fingerboard forums that started, and you had techdeck.com
Mm.
that had a video section and you could submit your videos,
Yep.
and from this you had the finger flipping forum, which basically was the main forum where all the big influential fingerboarders and all the even OGer than new
Yeah, like
than
us.
us
Yeah, let's say
are.
yeah, the old guys. Yeah, even
Yeah,
yeah.
the old guys. But yeah, after this, you had the YouTube era, which was like from 2007 to I'd say when Instagram started.
Yeah.
And when Instagram took off, everybody migrated to Instagram because it's basically was instant access to like short clips.
Yes.
Like it was short burst of entertainment of a lot of riders. So I guess people liked it. Like people really liked flat face montage
Uh-huh.
and like big edits with a lot of writers. But yeah, so that basically conclude eras.
Mhm.
But yeah, about people like enjoying almost more reviews and unboxing, like that was also a thing back in 2007 and 8. Like like I remember being a kid and like just like Google Chrome was just having their new tab feature, and I was like going on my computer and just writing unboxing fingerboard flat face and just pressing CTRL and clicking on every video, and I had like 18 videos of unboxing watching while doing kickflips. And like even to this day I try to comprehend what I was thinking or what I was like uh, finding enter like what was the entertainment value
Yeah.
of it. But
Exactly.
I think with time it was about being jealous of like, oh, he have this stuff and I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Like still to this day you have I get a lot of comments on my video about like let's say that the video where I give that kids $90 fingerboard, people are like, oh, this guy is giving a $90 fingerboard to a beginner and I'm here with my tech decks,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like
The jealousy.
so I guess there's a part of this about unboxings, and review is really, I think review is it's just logical. Like it's a pretty underground. Fingerboarding is pretty underground, so like you doesn't have a lot of documentation about products. You just have like picture and like you have to find opinions of people who
Yeah.
got the stuff that you're looking for.
Exactly.
So I guess YouTube is like the best platform to have opinions from people and details.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. Like even with the documentation, like there were a ton of fingerboard companies that that were influenced, like had great years back in like the '07 era and like back when like YouTube was big, and then just
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that like there was no proper documentation other than the YouTube videos, and then after like copyright laws and all the changes YouTube makes, when those videos got lost, a lot of those companies got lost too. So it's hard to reference like what was what back then, because there were still people like making their own companies back then. Of course, not to this extent, but I just think it like maybe that's the one thing that will get beneficial out of it is with all this documentation and easy accounts created, with Instagram and things like that, like it'll be easier to recall, companies that have existed in the past and stuff. So maybe there are the benefits that come with this,
At the same
documentation.
time, there's the downside about like it's instant, so you always gotta put out content, a nice trick that's gonna be trendy and the hashtag fingerboarding. You
Yep.
always gotta push to be like
The front
known
page,
by
yeah.
the community, but like yeah,
Yeah,
at the
cause
same time,
yeah.
I guess it's all in my mind and it's not really important, but
Well, I mean, like, it's not that it's like a huge deal in the sense of the scale of the world. Yeah, like this isn't a huge deal,
yeah,
but like for people that are like people like you can. It's safe to say, like you are an influencer to what's happening right now, like with fingerboarding, and like if you have a say in it, you want to make sure like it's not just completely something you don't like. But I will say I do like with the instantness, like how you're saying how instant Instagram is, like you're saying if you're not posting a clip daily, like it's only on your feed for that
you can
day. You know what I mean? It's only
yeah
gonna
you
be
can
there for that long. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead
I
and say.
get what you mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, what I was trying to say also is like, so when you land a super crazy tricks, it's getting harder and harder to like know where to find it because you tend to like post every day.
Yeah.
So what it does is like the trick that you remember from someone is getting super down in his feet.
Yeah, like you can't
So
even find
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, so and like halfway through you're like bleh. Instead of just being like, oh, I know that in that part from Ben there's in the part Bloom
Yeah.
at the end the banger is like oh and yeah, so it's I think YouTube is more convenient, but at the same time Instagram is instant access and 2018 is all about instant access. So yeah,
Yeah. All
I
right.
think it makes sense how it is.
No, you make sense. You're making sense to me though. Like it is a more instant, like especially with all the app development everywhere we're going with media. But just to change to I guess to a lighter topic, your
Mm-hmm.
obstacles, like you talked about how long it took you to get that tail slide in that video on that triangle ledge, but the
Yeah,
obstacles in your park, in that uneven park you're talking about that your dad lets you have in your house,
yeah,
um, you have like a ton of like crazy obstacles, and you have a ton of cool stuff. Like in your In Bloom's video, you had that box set, and like you kind of based the video around like the fingerboard in the box, like your little picture that you had with it and stuff like that.
yeah.
Where do you get stuff like that? Well, specifically, where did you get that box? And is there any other like wacky like crazy stuff that like you can kind of like that sticks out in your mind that you have in your park, like crazy obstacles?
Okay, so some of the crazy obstacle, like the wackier stuff, like the non-finger skate ramps. Shout out to that sponsor. Um, and I'd say like my dad is a janitor. Okay,
Okay.
he's the janitor of the block. So like when people like it's a huge block of like 150 apartments.
Right.
So when someone left, someone move out, and he let stuff in his house. It's my it's my dad's duty to like uh, pull out the stuff, and sometimes he brings me some of the stuff you see in my videos, like that box thing. He thought I would. Like my dad is awesome when I think about it because he's pretty aware of what fingerboarding is, and like he brought me uh, those boxes thinking like I would like fold them of concrete and make concrete ramps about them, but in final I got lazy and just used the box instead.
Oh, so he's gonna let you use him for like a molding for like oh, that's cool that he's like that aware that you could like that you're so like do DIY stuff too. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, like that big half pipe, like sometimes I'm not a, like I'm gonna reveal something. I haven't spent a dime on fingerboarding since 2 or 3 years, maybe two.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was sure that
So
makes plenty of
like
sense though.
what I get like boards from sponsor,
Hmm.
and when I retire those boards, like some people want them for some reason, and sometimes I trade, and I always manage to like trade this for that and trade this for that, and
Yeah,
manage to get the
exactly.
thing I wanted. So yeah.
No, that makes sense. Like you use what you have and what you get to kind of keep yourself afloat, so you don't have to. Like, no, that makes sense because it's not like you're trading, so you're keeping the economy alive. You know what I mean? Like the fingerboard
Yeah.
economy is still good. You're not damaging it. But what was I gonna
But
say? Yeah, that makes sense
yes,
though.
like that big half pipe. Sometimes I found rare finds that I just cannot not spend on it. Like
Yeah.
that big half pipe cost me like $10,
Holy
and
crap.
it's I I have a friend in Granby who like found it in a thrift shop, and he basically it was like a log holder for like fireplace, and he basically saw it in half, and he kept one half and sold me the other half, and yeah.
Holy
like,
shit.
I like I'd say like it's almost like outdoor fingerboarding sometimes you go outdoor and find spots because you analyze spots in a way, but
Yeah.
it can be the same thing for objects. Like you can analyze objects and like figure out a spot with pretty much any object ever.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. Okay, so
Ex-
I have to ask this as well. Well, since we're talking about parks and like things that like inspire your writing, who are your biggest inspirations in your actual style of fingerboarding, and like when you like I don't know. A lot of people don't ask this question, but like when you build parks, is there any inspiration that you get from like not like even just specifically people? Like I want to ask like this in two parts, I guess. Who are your fingerboard inspirations? Like who like inspired you to be like the type of fingerboarder you are? And are there any like spots or like types of like parks that you like that you kind of do your DIYs around?
okay. So I'd say uh, I I doesn't get like a lot of inspiration. What I mean by that is like I really love like street spots and stuff, and I find it beautiful. But for me, like like I said, it's all like there's a reason why you always see me ride a manual pad or like a ledge or a down ledge or a ledge put as a down ledge or
Yeah.
stuff. Like it always comes down to the same stuff when you think about it. It's
Yeah.
because that's what I'm used to ride. So whenever like I try like more abstract spots and like more I'd say like street spots,
Okay.
I tend to lose like the ideas behind it and tend to just want to do like nolly nose grind nolly
Yeah.
shove its nuts and not film at all. But yeah, like I'm not a good park builder. Like
Yeah.
weirdly, like when you see good spots, like I'd say my best spots I ever did was in the exit millipede grinding, where I had like this tubular thing that looks like it, it's a tube basically, a rigled tube. I mean, those are hard words for me.
No, no, you're good. No, I understand what you're saying.
but but yeah, like I'd say it's more like for and I it's more in a video making I see it. Like it's more like, oh, like it's getting boring to see me ride a round manual pad, so I might as well just put out some bush and oh maybe had that area here and oh like it's most of the time I get lucky and everything's like comes together. But yeah,
Oh, that
I'd
makes
say it's
plenty of
trial
sense
and
though.
error, and you'll find some things that fits you.
So you're more of like I wouldn't say like because you do like some complex spots with the actual stuff that you're brought, like you said about your father, but you kind of want to bring the complexity to the spot. You don't want the spot to be anything too, you know what I mean, like too crazy. Like
Like
you're not looking for
I
like a
can
full flat face park. You can rock with a
I
ledge.
yeah, like I'd say like if I can ride like but I can ride parks and stuff. Like I can do lines often. Like I'm obligated to in
Yeah,
contests.
no, yeah, I was gonna say
but
of course with
I'd
contest
say
experience.
I'd say like it's just that for me, seeing me doing a nollie nose grind, nollie backside flip out, then a nollie heel, and like just doing like regular non impressive stuff is like for me, it's like for me, like I get that people would like to see me do simpler stuff and like more steezier stuff,
Right.
but for me, it's not like it's yeah, it's not. I would not say fun, but it's like it. Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Video taking it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I get
doesn't.
you. You want to make sure it's some content that you want to see, and it's something you're pushing yourself doing. Because and especially like I get like I don't know, people like you're saying like want to see you do simpler tricks, but the thing is that's not what you're looking to get out of it, and you're pushing, like I said, you're pushing a certain angle of fingerboarding, and I don't think you should let that discourage that at all. Like there are people that like me who enjoy seeing you push fingerboarding as far as you can, so definitely keep that up. Do not.
That's right. But yeah, at the same time, it's like if you look at it, like most of writers, that's what they do. Like they push it like to the most they can, and then they just like perfectionize their style and make it like skateboarding.
Mm.
That's I guess that's what in 10 years that's probably what I'm gonna come up to, because like when you got flaws, you gotta work on those flaws. But at the same time, like creative stuff and wackier stuff, like I'm really happy to have brought out the one finger manual and all those variations. I never seen people do that, and I always found it like weird, because when I saw Chris Aslam do this, I was, dude, that's like the most impossible thing
Yeah,
ever.
the 1 foot. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That video, the almost three, I think video that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, that's dope. That you're like, I have to be the Chris Haslam. I have to bring that angle to it. Okay, I have to ask you one more question, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a chance to talk about your sponsors and any sort of videos or anything you got coming up. But I'm trying to keep the podcast to an hour 15 so I can get it on featured on stuff. So
Okay.
I'm forced to come to a close on it. But
Oh, it's okay.
I wanted to ask you in one of your videos. It was like one of your more recent question videos. You were stating at the end of it, you're like, I want to do a fingerboard summer camp. And I
Hmm.
thought that was super dope because, like, as soon as you said it, I was like, man, I remember always when I was younger and, like, skateboarding, I was a big skateboarder. I wanted to go to Camp Woodward with all my friends and, like, stay, and just skate all day. But then I thought about it. I was like, that would be, like, a dope event to have for fingerboarders if there was, like, a place that people could do it, like a convention center or something like that, or, whatever it may be. I want to hear your thoughts on, like, what made you think of that because I had never thought about it in a second. And, like, what would your dream
Well,
situation of that be?
when you like, it's because when you think about it, like I hate to be that kind of guy that have that stature, but like fingerboarding stays a toy,
Yeah.
so you gotta like attract younger people to it. So I guess a summer camp like is the idea behind it. Like I saw all those videos about people bringing a fingerboard into schools, and like you got As Berlin who's who like Timo Kraus, who's having his shop and have you can rent his shop for birthday parties,
Yeah.
which I think is super sick. So I think it's in the same wave of that, like, and also like mainly my first thought was like giving fingerboard classes, but like private classes.
Right.
Like I guess like in skateboarding it's doable, like you can pay a pro to like teach you skateboarding, so why not do it for fingerboarding?
No, that's
And
very
yeah,
plausible.
so I guess it's like a combination of all those things came up to like the idea of a summer camp,
And I think,
or like a day camp or
no, yeah,
anything
yeah,
like this.
that's
At the
very
same
plausible.
time, like it shouldn't, like it should be skateboard and fingerboarding, like you sesh all day and then at night it's fingerboard time until bed.
That's dope. What
But
was I say? I think that fingerboarding classes thing would work out for you pretty well because it's something that you can do on a desk, and you could probably do it over like a FaceTime or like a Skype thing. But I'll leave that to the pros. I'll leave that to guys like you that can
at
give
the
good.
same time, I'd say it's really hard to like get distance via, because I tried to do it, like teach people some tricks via webcam, and it's a lot easier to teach in person,
Yeah, I got you.
because you can really see like what he is doing wrong, like
Yeah.
in real time, instead of like
Through his
12
yeah,
frames.
a shitty webcam that some kid can put on his iPhone or whatever. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That could lead to some issues if they don't have optimal equipment for filming. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on to our show. I know this is the only second episode. I'm so like thankful to have you as our first interview on the show ever. And then
Yeah.
like just like showing love to the Discord and everybody around you and like your community and stuff. Like people in the community should really like treasure that. But I want to give you a second to talk about you know, anything you got coming out, any videos. I know you just released a video today, or and then give a shout out to your sponsors if you'd like.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks to you for having me.
No problem.
Like it's weird because like people think I'm this huge influential guy, but like I really don't feel like it. I just feel like one of you guys. It's just that I happen to land like bigger stuff, and it's I don't know how to say that.
No, that's
But yeah,
exactly what it is. You landed bigger stuff.
but like I'm no different from you. I'm still like a huge fan of the hobby, and like I happens to like have people who give me stuff
Right.
because they like what I doing. And like since I produce so much part, it's like why not having our brand associated to those parts.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, shout out to my sponsor, Greasy Fingerboard. My pro model is not available right now, but it's gonna be on the next stock.
Gotcha.
And my pro model is always 94 by 33 to emulate my shorter boards, but are still like in a standard fashion.
All right.
If I can say.
Yeah, if you ride a regular board, so you can still ride them.
Yeah. Also, TIG tuning. Yeah, pretty much TIG tuning. I don't know what to say. We're a big army, and we're here to take over the world. And yeah, basically, finger skate ramp. Guillaume and Simon, the guys behind it. These guys are the geniuses and think about everything. And you don't know what is coming. No, you don't know.
Big
And
product,
yeah, pretty much. As for parts, I'm not I don't plan things a lot, but I have my friend Philip, who came back from his trip from France. So if you like the like walking the dog and walking in Champagne, and you're gonna like what's coming up. And also sorry for everyone who had to endure my accent for an hour.
No, I'm sure everybody wants to hear it, man. I'm sure because it's like you have all those followers on YouTube. Oh, also plug your YouTube and your Instagram just because you got to do it.
Yeah, just Fingered Ben. Oh yeah. We're gonna finish with this. Why I'm called Fingered Ben?
Okay.
Because people think I'm just a dirty-minded dude. Okay, basically it comes from French. And French, you got this word that is called doigté. Doigté basically means finger dexterity. Okay.
Okay.
So the doigté is also an homophone. An homophone is a word that sounds the same, like, but it doesn't mean the same thing.
Right.
So you got doigté and you got doigté, and doigté can basically be translated to English and to fingered, but doigté doesn't have like a proper word for it. So it's basically a bad French pun translated.
Okay. Oh,
for English people not to understand. So yeah,
we're getting like a lot of firsts, dude. Thank you so much for that story, man. No, like I thought it was just because fingerboarding, I just thought you were being a memer. I just thought you were memeing, but dude, thank you so much for swinging by, dude. And then make sure everybody on the screen you can see his ad. Make sure you shoot him a follow, subscribe to his YouTube, so this guy can keep putting out great content. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to go ahead and slide off the Discord call, and then I can kind of close the show out. But, dude, thank you so much. I'm going to shoot you a message just to tell you thank you some more later. But thank you so much for swinging by, dude.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for listening.
Dude, yes, thank you. So, everybody, we got some people saying, we got Chrome and everybody saying they're buying your deck, or they have it already. They copped your Greasies, so showing you love, man. But dude, thank you so much again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, sure, dude.
All right, bye-bye. Alrighty, guys, that was our interview with Fingered Ben. The story behind his name, the story behind who he is and how he became who he is. That was pretty much the sesh for today. We pretty much got through the warm-up. That interview was a bit long. Not saying that's a problem. I wanted it to be longer because I wanted to get as much information out of him as I could. But since it was so long, I'm gonna just call the show on the interview and the warm up. Again, thank you to everybody that comes by. Thank you to Ben for coming by and speaking. Thank you for everybody that's coming to watch the live stream on twitch.tv/StevieHarkinsCK, and supporting the Sesh with Stevie Harkins. Follow me at StevieHarkinsFB if you want to know more of when we're doing these live streams and when more of these interviews will be coming out. We'll be having more people this week. I wanted to get 3 episodes out before I take the first week break and make it a weekly thing. So hopefully we'll get an episode out either today or tomorrow for the last 3 set, for the beginning intro block, I guess you can say, of this. Excuse me. Hopefully there'll be an episode and another interview or another speaker tomorrow. But like I was saying, shoot me a follow on Instagram if you're looking for the updates on when we'll be going live and getting more interviews, more information. If you're looking to advertise on The Sesh with Stevie Harkins, feel free to DM me on Twitch or on Instagram. We're looking for companies that are sponsoring and or looking to advertise new drops or writers that got new videos coming out, and just basically trying to get back to the company or to the community, and basically get some more people involved in the cast. So, like I said, thank you guys so much. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to get out of here and kind of get this on YouTube as soon as possible for all of our podcast listeners. Thank you to, like I said, everybody that makes this thing happen, and it makes everybody that on the Instagram and in the community that makes the fingerboarding passion continue. Like I said, I'm Stevie Harkins CK, aka Stevie Harkins FB, and I'll see you guys next week, alright? Bye.